This is me a couple of days ago at the TV table of a gambling event here in Germany, the Cash Clash, and we're going to analyze this match. I'm going to talk you through some really interesting situations that are going to come, some great shots, some interesting layouts. So yeah, I would say let's just have a good time together. And this very first track is already very interesting because on the 1 to the 2, you definitely have to use inside spin to hold the cue ball on the left side of the 7 ball, but this is not the difficult part in this rack because you will see in a minute what I mean. So first of all, he's hampered by the 7 ball, but it's still okay, he has the right angle, but you have to keep an eye on that 3 and that 4 ball. You wanna be on the right side of that 3 ball, because otherwise the cue ball will go towards the 8 ball. So what he's going to do is he's going to elevate, use some low and left spin, and then he definitely has to pass the straight line of the 3 ball. Otherwise, as you can see, this gets really difficult, and this was the key shot in this rack, which can decide. You can see the rest would be a piece of cake, but this can decide if you're going to run this rack. So problem here is, of course, he's trying to go 2 rails, but the 8 ball is a bit of a blocker, or a really big blocker here. And also the 6 ball would have been a bit in the way, and just because of that it happened. But he got away with it. The good news is he has a clear view on the 4 ball. So try to find a good solution here, how you can actually play a safety. And in the best case, what you're trying to do and what he's looking at here is, by the way, Kadir Kalkan, a very good player from Germany. He's trying to kick that 4 ball 1 rail to the short rail and leave the cue ball behind that 8 ball. And this looked pretty solid. The only problem was he didn't hit hard enough, but if you hit that a bit harder, you have a really good safety. And this is my very first shot at the table. I mean, the good news is, I have a makeable shot, but it's very long, so I'm just trying to play a stop shot, keep the cue ball where it is. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but the stop shot here is the right shot because it's easier to execute. You don't want to roll that ball in over that distance, even though the angle would be better with less angle on a 5 ball. So focus on your fundamentals here and missed the shot. Yes. Sometimes you're still missing shots even though you're trying to focus on your fundamentals. I mean, it's a long shot, so it's totally fine to miss that shot. So I'm not too concerned at this point because I know I will definitely get another chance. Maybe not in this rack because the 4 ball is makeable, but maybe in the next rack. So I'm still very calm and collected here. Played that one with just inside spin, going 3 rails into the line of the 5 ball. Very good. Now what he's probably going to do is he's going to use low right. We can see that from the overhead, and trying to play that 6 ball into the left side pocket if he travels too far, or if the cue ball stops a bit earlier, as it does right here, he has the chance to play it into the upper left corner pocket. Only problem, as you can see, is a bit off angle. Cue ball goes to the left side, so you will need to get short side position. That's what he's looking at. And the only thing you don't want to get is straight. Either angle works on the 7 ball as long as you're not getting straight. This is the most important thing. Well, he missed that shot, to my surprise, to be honest. But I mean, you have to understand that this is the TV table. We are playing for money. He's playing against me. He probably knows, or I'm certain he knows, that this is going to be on YouTube. So of course, nerves probably kick in. You miss those shots, especially those rolled or slow roll shots. So yeah, it's totally understandable. And if you keep watching, you will see he's going to pull off a really great rack. So he definitely can play. But of course, sometimes you're just missing shots. So what I have to do here is I have to fin that ball in. Cue ball is going to have some speed, and because of that I played it with a speed. The cue ball definitely goes up table again, and then depending on how thick or thin I'm hitting that 6 ball, the cue ball ends where it is right now, or maybe to the other side so that I can play that 7 ball into the other corner pocket. Here, high touch of right spin. Not ideal, I have to say. I underhit that shot definitely by a full diamond. Now I'm far away from that 8 ball, which makes things a bit more difficult. Lost the cue ball a tiny bit, but I still have a very makeable shot into the corner pocket. And I have a very good chance to give or to take that very first drag. And this is for me always the most important thing, to get that very first drag, because it can completely change the momentum of the match. And yes, I know it's a race to 7, but imagine I wouldn't have finished that drag, he would not have remembered his mistake, and you want to make your opponent remember his mistakes. So it's very important to punish mistakes, otherwise the mistakes are forgotten. So you basically battling against your opponent, and of course this sounds a bit weird, but you want to win, and the pool is a game, it's kind of a battle, and you have to do everything that brings you the win. If you're playing competitively, of course, if you're playing with friends, it's a total different story. Don't get me wrong, but if you're playing in competition, you need to have that will to win. This is the most important thing to be successful. And this counts for every professional pool player who's won several titles, world champions and all that stuff. They just want to win. This is the most important thing. Okay, let's get back into the match. So, yeah, a bit unlucky. It was tricky. He used some check side, some inside spin on it one wall, because there was a lot of traffic if he used outside spin, and he snookered himself behind that 8 ball. So he probably has to go one rail, curve around that 6 ball, use some right spin, and then, yeah, it's difficult to make the 2 ball. It's just too far away from the pocket. On the other hand, you even have that 4 ball as a blocker, so it's a very difficult shot, but you just gotta make contact, probably with a soft speed, which he did. He played a great shot. You can see I would have been snookered or had a very difficult shot, but unfortunately he took his eye off his cue and he made this foul. So once again, not ideal. Basically played a good shot, get a bit unlucky. So once again, I think nerves played the role here. So still nothing to worry about for him. He just has to be relaxed and calm, and he will definitely get his chance, this is for sure. Here I gotta be a bit careful, because I don't want to have too little angle on it 4 ball, and this was a bad shot because now I definitely have too little angle on a 4 ball. So if you're playing on slick tables that are very slidey, then you have no chance to play that ball with follow, because the cue ball, the forwards rotation will always make the cue ball die on after the contact with the short rail. But this table is a bit bouncy, it isn't sliding, so I have a chance to just go 1 rail down table. Very important, I wanna not use any follow, I just wanna use center and a trace of right spin, and then this shot is possible. And yes, it looks so easy, but believe me, this shot was a bit more difficult than it looks, but on this table, luckily it worked. So now very important, just going 1 rail in between the 9 and the 7, but I used a bit too little left spin, because now the problem is I have a bit too little angle, so this was once again a careless shot, not ideal. Now I have to force the cue ball into the rail and out, and first of all, this shot becomes easily missable, and see how hard I hit the shot, and I still have a horrible angle on that 7 ball. But just before this match, I played a race to 21 for a bit more money on this TV table, and I was already in stroke, luckily, so not that big of a problem to draw that one with low left, by the way. Once again, a bit off angle, so I need to use some high and some right spin, and play the 9 ball into the lower left corner pocket. So a very good start into the match, and yeah, it's a great event. I really love to play that. I gotta tell you, I'm so hooked. I just want to play at TV tables. My appearance at the Euro Tour at the TV table was insane. I really enjoy doing this one, so I want to show you so much more in the future, and just want to play so much more often on TV tables. Okay, back to the match. The 2 ball is makeable, but the cue ball is frozen to the short rail, and believe it or not, this looks easy, but it's a very, very difficult shot. And the problem is, the cue ball is very likely to travel towards that 9-7, and it's very, very risky to snooker myself. So if I'm playing that shot, I have to play that one hard, that the cue ball has a chance to bump into the balls, bump the balls away, and that I have a clear view on that 3 ball. Yeah, gotta be honest with you, I think I played this one definitely with the wrong speed. Should have played it either harder or softer. I mean, softer is also difficult to slow roll that ball, and this gives me not a good position on the 3 ball, so I definitely should have played that a bit harder in hindsight. Yeah, 1 rail kick on that 3 ball. gotta play that one with inside spin and played it a lot harder than I've played it here, to be honest. So once again, I gotta say this was just a bad shot, even though I made contact and I blocked the path for the free ball into the corner pocket. This was just a really, really poor speed selection, because you have to understand, whenever you're kicking at balls, you want to imagine what happens with a full ball contact, a half ball contact, or a very, very thin contact. And then you gotta just calculate through real quick at what speed you have the best chances to get a resave. And this, long story short, was a bad speed because I hit it too soft. Yeah, difficult shot. You have to admit this was a difficult shot into the side pocket. I think he had in mind that the cue ball is probably going to end behind that 7-9 ball in case he misses, which can actually sometimes take the pressure off, but sometimes you're not focused enough on making the shot because you know it's probably going to be a save. And I'm not too sure. I think I could have made that ball into the side pocket with some inside spin to just grab the ball. I don't want to go too deep into aiming with side spin and all that stuff, but I can't cut it full enough. That's why I'm using just a trace of right spin that grabs the ball and throws it basically into the pocket. So let's see if it works. Yeah, I mean, it was close, but it was also tricky. But I mean, I have to take it on because I didn't really see a good safety. Maybe once again could have sent that free ball onto the upper short rail. But on the other hand, I mean, I had a makeable shot. I had a chance, just didn't execute it 100% perfect. Because of that, I missed. So I think I made at least I made the right decision this time compared to the shots before. So here a bit tricky with that free rail path because it's probably going close towards the 7 ball. And this is how it ended. So once again, yeah, you can see he's annoyed. I can understand that he's annoyed at this point. I think he snookered himself like 3 times already in this match. So very, very difficult, very tough start. And you gotta be able to come mentally back from that. So really interesting to see how he responds, or also for me in the match how he responds. So I'm sitting in my chair, of course. I know I have a good chance to come back to the table, make it 3-0 with my break, maybe a break and run. So this is actually a very, very big shot, to be honest. Yeah, it was so close. Missed that shot. Could have, of course, if he hits it from behind, the cue ball still goes into the corner pocket and he scratches. So hitting it from behind was a bit tricky, a bit difficult, and a bit risky. But yeah, that's could have turned out a whole lot better. And I have ball in hand. Just very important. I want to give myself a bit of an angle on that 5 ball. This is something that I see way too many amateurs do wrong. They give themselves just too little angle because. Have a look at my stroke, how easily I can play that shot in, just high on the cue ball, by the way. Cue ball bounces out of the rail. I have a perfect angle on the 7 ball here. Looks like a bit too much, but I can actually just go 1 rail into the line of the 8 ball. And even with the spin, with the amount of side spin, I can decide what exact angle I want to have. And I decided I want to have the worst possible angle, just a bit too little angle to hold, and or too much angle to hold and too little angle to comfortably come into the rail and out. But powered it in, and as you can see, I almost missed that 8 ball. This was really, really close. So this was, once again, not the best positional shot, but I managed to make the 9 ball, and it's 3-0. So everything is going as planned at this moment. Okay, let's have a look at the next break. You can see I'm always going into the break box because the match I've played before was with the break box, because this was a preparation for the European Open in Fulda. If you didn't know, I'm going to play in the European Open. Got a spot. Been playing a lot recently, and I'm really curious to see how I'm doing. I hope I can mentally hold up, because this, to be honest, I gotta be honest, this really means a lot to me. And I gotta be careful that I don't wanna force it too much to perform at my game, even though I'm playing pretty solid at this moment. I don't wanna put too much pressure on myself. So yeah, we will see how this turns out. In the meantime, what I was trying to do here is, don't wonder, I was not trying to make the two ball into the corner pocket. I was trying to bring the two ball to the short rail. I think I hit the ball a bit too full. This is why the cue ball also went into the six ball. And now he has a very thin cut into either corner pocket. So a bit tricky. Really good shot. Bumps into that four ball and once again gets a bit unlucky, to be honest. It was a great shot, but I mean, you gotta stay positive at this moment because at least once again you are in control. You can play from here. You can play a great safety. You can bring the cue ball frozen to the nine ball, just stun it a bit towards us, down table, and then bring the free ball to the other long rail. This is nice, but of course what you can also do is try to bring the cue ball behind that six ball. And yeah, he played a good safety, but if you want to gain control, you're not supposed to leave that ball open, because now once again I have the initiative here because I can make something happen. And if you look at that safety shot that I'm playing here, if you hit that one right, from now on, the balls can travel like one and a half diamonds further. So this safety shot wasn't very speed sensitive. And I got, I think, the full snooker here. So now I am the favor because the safety shot before was good, but on a top level or the higher you're playing, this safety shot isn't enough. You gotta have that full snooker, and you also gotta have, for example, this safety shot I just played is good in this particular setting, but if I'm playing that against a top professional player, he's very likely to jump that ball in and even hold position for the four ball because it's just a stop shot. So as you can see, even for me, if I would play against stronger players, I gotta play even stronger safeties. And I know this is easily said, but at least you gotta be aware of that this is a thing in safety play, which is very important. You have to evaluate the risk for the safety and the reward. And of course, the strength of your play of your opponent. This is very important. Okay, I hope that made sense. Let's get back to the match here. Once again, what I'm trying to do is bank the free ball 2 rails this time towards the short rail, but I chose a bad speed, and because of that, I left the shot open. It's makeable, but I mean, it's a long, tricky shot, just overhit it a bit, but I think the shot selection was good. Just controlling the speed 100% right was just a bit difficult on this one. So let's see if Kadir, my opponent, wants to have a chance in this match. He's got to make something happen. This is for sure. And he makes something happen. He made that really long ball. I think the bump into the 6 ball was 100% calculated. And he finally rewards himself for a good shot. He had to play some difficult shots before, always didn't get the position. But now he got it and he has a golden opportunity. And he just has to make that one. You can see he's hoping for the cue ball to go. This is always nice to watch pool players, how expressive they are. And yeah, but he definitely has a very good position on that 7 ball. He's probably going 2 rails, just using low, maybe a touch of right spin, and then hopefully ends up with a straight shot on the 9 ball. Cue ball goes away off the rail, and now he has the best possible 9 you can wish for to finally get that first game onto the board, which is always in every match the most difficult. And once again, don't forget, this is a live stream match at the TV table against me, where you know this is going to be on YouTube. So of course, this is so difficult to play, and because of that, I'm looking so forward to this rack, because in this rack he really shows that he's knowing what he's doing on the table and that he's capable to pull some amazing shots off. So let's analyze this one. First of all, tricky shot on the 1 ball, a very long shot, once again a thin cut. Cue ball might even, it's going to be a bit too fast. We will see that in a minute as he's about to play this one. Takes his time, very, very good. And yeah, we have a bit of body movement, but he pulled that one off, bumped into that free ball. And now, yes, He has a shot on the 2-ball, but once again, it is tricky because he just has a bit too little angle and the cue ball is very likely to stay close to that long rail. But look at the position on the 3-ball, look at the position on the 5-ball. You want to have the angle where you're not going away from that 5-ball, and this is exactly what happened. So once again, he has some really tough work in front of him, and getting from the 3 to the 5-ball is very difficult because you have to play that one low left. You need a high quality stroke. The 6-ball is a bit in the way, the 8-ball is a bit in the way. You basically want to end somewhere in between the 6 and the 8-ball, because otherwise, if you're drawing the cue ball even more, the 8-ball might even becomes a blocker. I think you probably have no idea what I'm talking about because it's hard to visualize without any lines, but you will see in a minute what I mean. You can see low left, misses that 6-ball, misses that 8-ball, but ends up straight on the 5-ball. So once again, he is not through this rack yet. Very, very difficult. I mean, the good news here is, have a look from the 5 to the 6. If you just play a stop shot, you have a shot on the 6-ball. A very long shot, but a guaranteed shot and a realistic chance to get a position on the 7-ball. So many amateur players would try something crazy here, but he keeps his calm. He knows this is the right shot, and now all he has to focus on is making that shot. The cue ball will automatically follow up table. So a very, very good chance to finally have an easy shot in this rack, because every single shot was so difficult at this point. And look at the cue ball. It doesn't stop here. He once again, you can see it in the top left of your screen from the top down view. He once again is almost straight. So really, really difficult once again. Crazy rack so far already. So what can you do in this situation? Well, play it with low and right. You have a bit of an angle. Draw the cue ball back and the right spin. Watch the right spin on the cue ball when he's about to play the shot. Now the right spin grabs, opens the angle. Tricky with the 9-ball, but he got the position. Definitely deserved this one. He had to work so hard for this one. It was so difficult, and now he is in a very good spot. A couple of minutes ago it was 3-0 for me, and now all of a sudden it's only 2-3 from his perspective, and he has the golden opportunity to continue with another break and run, make it even. In this match is completely open, the momentum shifted, so the next break after this 9-ball is going to be really, really huge. It's a very, very important rack, if not the most important rack of this whole match. So let's see how it turns out. By the way, interesting fact, I completely forgot about that. You're about to see one of the best 9-ball breaks there is in this match. So I'm not exaggerating, this is going to be a really, really awesome break. So definitely worth to keep watching. Alright, he has once again a golden opportunity. It's a bit tricky. Once again, he always has to come up with difficult shots, doesn't he? So very thin 1-ball, very tricky to get position on it 4-ball. I don't really know about that 8-ball. 8-ball might passes into the corner pocket, into the lower right corner pocket. Probably passes into the into the left side pocket, but gotta imagine you gotta get position from that 7-ball on the 8-ball. So a really, really tricky rack once again. Look at this, he made that 1-ball, he bumped into the 4-ball, but I mean, you could say it's unlucky, but at least once again he is in control, he can play another safety. So 2 options, I would say: fin that 4-ball, send the cue ball up table, leave that 4-ball on the short rail, or might even just hit it straightish, try to use the 5-ball as a blocker, so just a bit more speed sensitive, because you don't want to hit it too hard, that the 4-ball comes out of the rail, and you don't want to hit it too soft, so that you don't catch any rail. And I think he left a small window on that one. Well, not a small window, but just a piece of that 4-ball. So of course, I can take back control by once again playing a good safety. So I think I'm trying to bring the cue ball up table, and the 4-ball, well, kind of in between the 5 and the 9, and try to park it behind. Well, didn't really get it. So I give him now the chance to do something. And this is a really interesting one. What you're gonna do here? Maybe play the stop shot, bank, where the ball bumps into the 7 ball. This is what I'm seeing. Or what he was trying to do. I don't think he was trying to make the ball, but he was trying to use that 8 and 9 ball as a separator. But once again, if you want to compete on a high level, you just gotta get that safe, because now all of a sudden one single shot, now I get that full safety and I'm once again the favor in this rack just because of this one single shot. So you see how important safety shots actually are. You can put yourself in a rack winning, in a match winning spot, or you can actually put yourself in a match losing spot if your opponent pulls off a good shot. And this is basically what happened here. And also kicking on this ball is a ball I really don't like to kick. There is not a whole lot of good stuff that can happen. And he even got so unlucky that he opened the problem with the 9-8 and that he missed the shot by just a hair, to be honest. And now once again I am in control, but don't get me wrong, this is now not an easy position for me, because I know he played some really good shots already in this match. He's back. If he gets an open table, he's probably going to run out. So this is a must run out for me. And there is one very crucial situation still to come in this rack, and this is the 7 to the 8 ball once again. But we will see that in a minute. First of all, I maintained a good angle on it 5 ball. Just going one rail up table. Wanna stay around center of the table where I have the angle to come into the short rail, and then decide at what angle I wanna go towards the 7 ball. By the way, if you saw that big guy behind me, this is a very good friend of mine. We are practicing very often here, and he's one of my, I don't want to say mentors, but he really taught me a lot about the game. Shot selection, position play, defensive play, kick shots and all that stuff. A very knowledgeable player. His high run is 289, which is insane. He played that one against me, so just a shout out. I really owe him a lot, and this channel owes him a lot, to be honest. And we might even go to upload a match in the future here on this channel. We will see. But let's get back to the match. The angle I got on that 7 ball is, look at my reaction, it's the wrong angle. Yeah, just got a bit too straightish on that one, and the problem is, if I'm so straight, it's hard to bring the cue ball to the left side of the table, because I have to play that 8 ball. The only pocket I basically have that is realistic here is the lower right corner pocket. Just because of that, I overpaced the shot, and now I have a really difficult shot. And remember, it's a very important stage of the rack, or of the whole match, to be honest. So, gotta play this one with a whole lot of right spin, try to check the cue ball, and hold the cue ball for the 9 ball. Turned out perfect. Cue ball off the rail, this was really important, and I have a very, very makeable 9. So, a very, very important rack. And if you're a careful viewer, you should now notice that for the very first time I'm breaking from the break box. So, as I mentioned, I played a race to 21 before, played a total of 35 racks, and we had to play from the break box all the time. My break didn't really work from outside. Usually it's easier from the outside, but since I'm playing recently only break box breaks because of my appearance in the European Open in Fulda by Matchroom, I decided to go back, and I did make the right choice. I have a very, very open layout. I have a great opening shot on the 2 ball. It's a bit tricky. I have to use some inside spin, just a tiny bit of inside spin to bring the cue ball right in between the 9 and the 7 ball. Hit it firm because I want to bring the cue ball a couple of times around. Really, really good angle. Now, I basically have 2 options. Just go 1 rail high, touch of left spin. For some reason I decided to go with inside spin. This is a bit tricky though. This can go wrong. I can end up behind that 6 ball. So it was a bit of a risky shot, but as I mentioned, sometimes if you're feeling in stroke, you're just going with your instincts and you know you're going to definitely pull that shot off. This is totally fine, but I mean, I'm a pool coach as well. I gotta remind you that sometimes those things are difficult or tricky, or better said risky, and this might not the right shot, not the textbook shot. But long story short, let's focus on the match once again. Here it's important, I don't want to have too much angle on that 8 ball, so I just want to pass the 9 ball closely, but I don't want to be careless, use too much left spin and end behind that 9 ball. This is why I ended with a bit more angle on that 8 ball, which decreases my percentages by like 1-2% in terms of success rate or shot making percentages on that 8 ball. And just because of that, I have a bit of a longer 9 ball, which once again decreases my shot making by like 2-3% maybe, but still most of the time I'm pulling that off, and this was the perfect response. Not only did I win the last break, but I responded with a break and run, made it 5-2, and all of a sudden momentum is on my side again. So you can see how sometimes those tiny mistakes, it was just one single situation that once again changed the momentum of the match. And this is why very often when you're looking at matches in hindsight, you can very often identify this one single situation, this one single missed shot or missed safety that in the end probably decided the whole match. Of course, I'm trying to replicate the break I just did, but I gotta tell you, this break from the break box is just so much more difficult. And I'm really not good at this break yet, and yeah, the European Open is just next week, so I definitely have to practice this one. And it was insane when Max Lechner was here at the Sharivari base for our videos and interview, and we played a couple of racks of 9 ball during the interview. You should definitely watch this, by the way, if you're interested in being a professional player, learning about his practice routine, about his mental game and all the tournaments. Definitely watch the video in the video description, but his break is just so good. I've watched so many videos of him playing, and also here he has so much control over the 1 ball, it's insane. But I mean, of course, you gotta have that if you want to compete on such a high level, but it was really impressive, I gotta say. This shot, on the other hand, was not that impressive, missed it by like half a diamond, but sometimes those long shots can go completely wrong. So nothing to worry about. This is just inevitably going to happen sometimes. So very important how you deal with mistakes and with missed shots. And this is actually a video that I just recorded before I'm doing this one, because it's a really important topic. What you do, how you should respond or react or deal with missed shots and mistakes in matches. This is going to come soon on my YouTube channel as a mental game video, or probably takes a while because I have so many videos in the pipeline. In the meantime, if you already want to watch it, then just become a member of this channel or head over to Patreon. On those 2 platforms, you always get early access to new videos, but they will also come for free on this channel. It just takes a while. In the meantime, Cardia has a very good chance to make it 5-3. Here I think he ended up a bit too straight. But I think what he can do is play high and right spin, and watch the cue ball's reaction here, how much the right spin grabs. And this is something that's not possible on a slick table because of the sliding rails, but he played that one to perfection. But have a look at the rack. Once again, you can see the 6 ball and the 8 ball are a bit tricky because the 8 ball is blocking the corner pocket. So in the best case, I would try to get a position into the upper left corner pocket, because no matter what angle I'm getting on a 5 ball that way, I will always have a shot to play that 6 ball or to get a good position on that 6 ball. What he was trying to do, however, is, if you follow the cue ball's path, he was trying to bring the 5 ball into the side pocket. And to be honest, this is a shot I really didn't like at this point. And the only reason why I didn't like this shot is because of the 6 ball. Because imagine the 6 ball isn't there, the cue ball has no chance to land behind another ball. So you can basically overhit the shot and you will always have a shot. But with that 6 ball, you gotta be a bit careful, and the cue ball might even would have gone behind that 6 ball, and this is why he underhit the shot and he ended up on the 50-yard line. This means it's difficult into the side, it's difficult into the corner pocket. I mean, maybe the bank shot is on, but I think in this situation I wouldn't try the bank shot. The 8 ball is maybe kind of a blocker. I would try to go for a safety, but on the other hand, easier said than done. Which kind of safety would you play here? It's a bit tricky, because the side pocket is a bit in the way for the cue ball. So yeah, maybe go for the bank shot. I'm not too sure what he's doing. He went for the bank shot, alright. yeah, it was always tricky. You would have needed to stand exactly behind the shot, so I can't really tell what I would have done here, to be honest. But you know what? I have a great idea. Just recreate the situation. I mean, you have the perfect layout here from this video, and send me your videos to contact@sharivari.net. This is, by the way, fully improvised. And then I'm going to analyze the shots, and I'm going to showcase the best solution, in my opinion, for the shot. So if you want to go to the pool table, record, maybe even appear on my channel, then send me your videos. Alright, back to the match. I'm in a very good position. Having the 6-ball into the side pocket here, what I'm doing is something that is so underestimated, and I don't see a whole lot of players do this. I'm checking the exact angle I want to have on the 8-ball. And this is so important because you always want to give yourself the ball in hand angle, the best possible natural angle. And if you have the chance to play a stop shot, or in this case stun the cue ball just a bit to the left, without decreasing your shot making, it's not something difficult, but it higher your total percentages, then you definitely have to do this. Because now you can see with a bit more angle, I don't have to power the cue ball. It's a bit easier to naturally bring the cue ball down table compared to less angle, and this can make a tiny difference in cue ball position. I mean, this isn't even ideal, but with less angle it maybe even gets worse. So this is why it's so important to always look for the best possible angle. Okay, enough coaching, let's get back to the match. I'm finally on a hill. Of course, I want to close out in the best case with a break and run. I already had in mind at this point that I'm definitely going to upload this on YouTube, and I want to upload so many more matches in the future because, as I probably told you in the beginning of this video, I'm just so hooked with playing pool at the moment. I love being at the TV table. I mean, the appearance at the Euro Tour at the TV table. If you haven't seen that video, you definitely have to watch it. I'm also going to put it in the video description, where I was playing with a real actual cameraman commentary on the TV table of such a big tournament, a very professional tournament. Definitely watch that one as well, because yeah, it's just so much fun to be a pool player. Once again, I can't express how much joy I'm having doing those pool matches, even on live stream, that I'm having something for YouTube. And while I'm boring you with this speech, Cardia played this one rail bank shot. He gave himself a really good chance to come back into the match, and he definitely has to come back because otherwise the match is already over. But it's a bit of a tricky situation here because of that green 6-ball. So he has to bring the cue ball all the way around to get that free ball into the side pocket. And you would say, no, well, he just needed to hit a bit harder. But the problem is, if you might even rewind, if you hit that ball harder, the 2-ball into the side, the cue ball follows the tangent line a bit longer, and this means he would have bumped into or ran into that 6-ball. So this is something you have to understand. In the meantime, he played a great safety, very controlled, didn't hesitate a whole lot. The only chance or realistic chance I have here is play a soft one rail kick shot. It was a bit too soft, almost didn't hit a rail because my plan was to bring the cue ball behind that 4-ball in the best case, but this was, I think, the best I could do in this situation. And he plays a very clever safety. He's trying to split the balls, but once again, this is the difference, or this can make the difference in matches. Yes, there is a safety, but once again, I'm having a few on that free ball. I can hit a tiny piece of that free ball with some blocking balls near, and this is something you need to avoid if you want to win matches and even tournaments. And this is what makes all the difference. I'm telling you all the time that safety, that defensive part is so important when you're playing pool. And I think this match is the perfect example because I'm winning the safety battles just because of this tiny difference in cue ball position here. Once again, for this example, if the cue ball is just a bit too short, he has a few on it free ball and he can play a deadly safety. And once again, I got rewarded for the good safety and I'm in a match-winning position. But it's not over yet. Look at that green 5-ball and the 7-ball. It's a bit tricky to get position from that 5-ball to the 6-ball because of the 7. If I'm having the wrong angle, You can see I'm already checking the angle I want to have on the 4 ball to get nicely towards the 5 ball. You have to think 3 shots ahead, very important. So I want to get, in the best case, straightish, I think, on the 5 ball would be ideal. And now with that angle on the 4 ball, I have the best possible option. Just trying to probably roll it in and then, in the best case, get a straight shot on the 5 ball. I mean, if I get straight on the 5 ball, it's not easy, but this is the best chance I have. And I think this turned out pretty nice. Now I basically have to draw to a very precise or very small area on the table. Just as you can see, right in between the 8 and the 9 ball. So this is basically the last difficult shot. After that, it gets a whole lot easier. So this can be the key shot in this rack. And it will be the key shot in this rack because, yeah, once again my expression shows it. I'm not happy with the shot. I can't make the 6 ball. I just see a tiny piece of the right hand side or right part of the 6 ball, but this doesn't give me anything valuable because the scratch is on. It's difficult to get a resave, so even though I'm seeing a part of the 6 ball, I'm forced to play a kick shot, something that is also very often not seen. Sometimes even if you have a few on that ball, sometimes the kick shot is the right choice. And here I'm trying to kick 2 rails from below, have a chance to make that 6 ball. If I'm hitting it thin, I have a chance to get the resave, and if I'm hitting it a bit fuller, I'm also having a chance to get a resave. And instead of a resave, which was difficult to be honest, I left him an open shot and a very, very good chance to get back into the match. I mean, currently I know it's 6-2, but if he makes this one continued by another break and run, it's 4-6. And then, yeah, it's getting a bit dangerous again. Tiny bit of a difficulty with that 9-8 because the 9 ball is blocking most of the 8 ball from that 7 ball. If you draw back to basically where it is right now, you can easily overdraw that shot, so this is very difficult as well, and this is why he decides to draw the cue ball. All the way back, very good shot. Very, very well timed draw shot. This is one of the most difficult things in pool, and precision draw shots. This is something I had to work for quite a while on, and you have to be able to adjust depending on the conditions that you're playing. So for example, the table, the cloth and all that stuff. So a very, very good shot that he played here to bring himself into the match to make it 3-6 with this 9 ball. Yes, I remember I've promised you something, one of the best 9 ball breaks you will see, so maybe it's going to happen this time. He made a total of 4 balls, excuse me, 4 balls on the break, but this is so good. Look at the position on the 2 ball, look at the spread of the balls. This is the rack you want to have in a match like this. But don't get me wrong, it's still not easy if you get a bad angle on the 3 ball. And with bad angle, I mean the angle that he has right now, because you can see he has a tiny bit of an angle to the left. This means he probably has to play a stop shot or just draw the cue ball a bit back and leave himself a longer shot on the 6 ball. So yes, this was already the key shot. This is something you need to identify. The 2 ball, 2 to the 3 looked so easy and so fast forward, but as you can see, this one single careless shot, which was basically a hanger. Now you have a longer shot on the 6 ball. This means you will have a longer shot on the 8 ball, and all of a sudden this great break becomes, yeah, I won't say useless, but it makes the game so much harder and it creates pressure and difficult shots. And then of course you can miss shots like this, and it wasn't an easy shot, and it's a pity because this rack or this break was so good and this one single shot made it so much more difficult. But it's not over yet. Have a look at the 6-8. The 6 ball doesn't pass the 8 ball. So I don't have anything offensive here apart from probably the bank shot into the top left corner pocket. but this is something that doesn't even guarantee me position, so I'm probably not going for that. I already have a very good shot, an interesting shot in mind that you should definitely know, and if you don't know this shot, you definitely have to practice and to learn it. So what is my goal here? If you look at where I'm pointing on the rails, I just want to send the 6-ball 4 rails all the way down to the short rail. So this is a very common shot that definitely puts you in a good spot, but remember, the safety battles are so important, and I'm trying to not only bring that 6-ball towards the short rail, at the same time I'm trying to force follow the cue ball, because then I have a chance to bring the cue ball behind that 8-ball without having to sacrifice anything on the 6-ball. So it's a free go on that full safety on the 8-ball, and I've got a bit lucky with the bump, but I played it really good. I could have also just played a stop shot, but then he has a bank shot, he can play a resave. This is why safety game, once again, I said it like 4 or 5 times in this video already, this is why safety game is so important. It eventually will make the difference. But let's have a look at what Kadir is doing here. He is faced with a jump shot, maybe even a 1-rail bank. It's not very unlikely to happen, so it has a chance. Well, he made a good contact, got the kiss shot, and he deserved to get a bit lucky after everything that happened, especially in the beginning of this rack. Kind of got rewarded, I have to say. I mean, this is not a hanger. It looks like a hanger in the video, but it's a very thin cut. I mean, I still have a very good chance. I can play a controlled safety, trying to use that 9-ball as a blocker, separate the balls, but then once again we're coming back to safety over and over again. Then I'm leaving an open kick shot into the corner pocket with an option to get a position on the 8, and this is why in that case I'm not going for the safety. I'm going for the bank shot, even managed to draw the cue ball all the way back to have a perfect position on the 8-ball. So sometimes you have to even make something happen and not always go for the safety. It's always percentages, the current situation of the match. And the current situation here is I've won that match. Very interesting match. Had a lot of fun to do this. Had a lot of fun doing this commentary. And if you want to see more in the future, or if you just want to support this channel, then subscribe to this channel, activate all bell notifications, and if you want to really help me, head over to Patreon or become a member of this channel. All the links are in the video description.